Why is it closed it? Hello guys, and I'm back. It's been fun intense games, man. Sorry for being so long making tutorials. For my Visual Basic tutorials anyway. I don't think I've uploaded any to this channel. I can't remember if I have or I haven't. My phone's going off. It goes off every single time. So let's just text. So right guys, I'm gonna start from the beginning, because last time I think I went too into detail of what I went straight into else and ifs and all. I went straight into how can I put it, straight in. I like when here's what you gotta do. Now you've finished Visual Basic, you know everything. So I'm just gonna go slow. It might look like I'm being a real noob or being really crappy by going slow. But I think that there's people on YouTube that are like, so Visual Basic, you got a code like this, put an else if there's a statement and hello, all that, and you just cannot process it. You cannot process it in your brain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go slow. First, I'm going to explain this is Visual Basics 2010 Express. If you're lucky enough to get Visual Studio, the actual one that's got all the programming language built in, then bravo, you are lucky, because it's about £10,000 for a team one. But luckily I've got it. So, so this is your Windows tab, right? This is where you hide all your docs. Right, so your view tab is so you can view the start page. Let it load. So this is start page. These are your recent projects. So if you've saved a project, your thing will be there. You can view other windows. So you've got your database explorer, which is databases. That's too complicated. I'll explain that in future tutorials. You've got an error list, which many years ago, there never used to be an error list when the magical Bill Gates first made programming, basic. The first he was right. The guy that made the first basic, it wasn't Bill Gates, but the guy went to Bill Gates. He worked for Windows. Was writing it all on paper, the full programming language, and then they wanted an error list. And then he made it so it would compile every letter you put or every programming term you put, and it would see if basically it's running the program. I know right. So basically, it is running the program over and over and over again. And then if it can't run, it'll because if there's an error, it'll tell you what error. And luckily, in this, it tells you how to fix it. So if we open error list, so you've got errors, warnings, and messages. Your errors are what needs to be fixed. Your warnings are, you can still run it, but like glitches in games, they will be a warning. Or not really glitches in games, that was wrong. I'm gonna put it, so basically it's a warning where it's saying you can do, or you can either do this better or do this, or fix this and it'll run better, or you get my drift. Messages is things that'll come up saying you've done this, but could you do this? Or you can set it through messages through your team if you've got, so a team can send you your own messages. So the properties window, you won't need that for what we're going to do this tutorial, but I will leave it in there. Wait, why ain't it going in there? You go in there, pal. You do it. Yes, you are a star. Right, pin, done. Right, so we're just gonna learn the interface this tutorial, and then we'll go into programming next tutorial. So the toolbox, no, the solution explorer is your solution. When you make a project, how can I show you? Let's just make basic. We'll just make a console application. Just call it console 1. As you can see, it is stored in here. So all your Visual Basic class files, or your images, all your references, all everything that is stored in your, let's say you're making a game, everything that is stored in your game is in a project, and then the project is built and put onto a disk or into a software installer, or you know, and it's made into an exe. Sorry, it's made into an exe. And then when you put it into your PS3, it reads the exe, and it sees the what do you call it? It sees the older programming, and it reads it as the computer reads it. But that's, I know I'm going a complicated term, but if you want to get back to the home page, just view start page, and there you go. What Microsoft do is they do latest news. This is their RSS feed, where you can get all the news on Visual Basics. Yeah, you can go to welcome, or you can go into learn, and these are just basic. I'm gonna learn you all these, so just keep on track with my videos. This is telling you to update to Visual Basic 2010, where you can build, where it says on the screen there, you can build web, Windows, Asus, Microsoft Office, SharePoint, so you can use Microsoft Office with C#. You can use Visual Basics or C++, and it's all in one tool. So you've got all your programming language instead of having 10 different softwares. It's like you can get Visual Basics, C#, C++. So you don't want all them. You just that is in one tool. So you just get one. You've got one thing there to, instead of having many. But let's just get to the viewpoint again. So your web browser is in Visual Basics or C#. You can actually make websites, but that is really complicated. That is really complicated for you. It's not for me. So your toolbars are your toolbars that you can have. So if I was a web designer, I would want this toolbar. If I was database, if I were doing databases, I want that layout. So let's go into debugging. So your project is just adding stuff to your project. It's go into debugging. Start debugging means it'll run inside Visual Studio. You don't have to build it into an exe so you can build it, and it'll build it to a folder which you can run exe. Data, that's for databases. Your tools, you can install extensions for Visual Studio, like physics engines and stuff like that. Help is where you can register if you've got a code. You can get support if it's like crashing all the time or you got problems. Samples, which are, I downloaded them when I first, but they are not help at all. Which I don't think they're help. I think that I'd be more help. So I think that's it, guys. So you can save. Make sure you always save your project. Always save it, because if you have a power shortage, or I know what it's like to have code on a. You've been writing code for ages and ages, because that's what I do for a living. I make games. I make games. But let's not get into that. I'll put some tutorials on it if you want me to. Just put it in comment section. If you're writing code and you have like an electricity storage, or your laptop dies on you, or and you've got, that's why you need to store things on an hard drive, which I do. I always have my hard drive plugged in. That's why I record on my hard drive, so YouTube videos will always go up because my subscribers are loyal to me. I might only have 700 subscribers, 800 subscribers, but it's better than having nothing. It's these people that they've got 1.5 million subscribers, and to be honest with you, I could be wrong by saying this, but some of them could be inactive. See, nowadays, people on YouTube they are joining partner programs with machinima. They're chasing the cash. I do this because I want to learn people different. What I learned from my parents, and I learned from watching tutorials when I was little. But it was hard for me because when I first started programming, there was basically nothing out there. It was just websites with basic information on programming, and I had to basically make my head go around it and learn it myself. So I know this has been a long tutorial on learning your Visual Basic, but I promise next tutorial. So if you want me to go slow and learn you through everything, which I will, it might take 500 tutorials, it might take 100, 500, 200, it might take 1,000, it might take 10,000. I'm not bothered. If I go as long as you understand and you enjoy programming and you want to make a living out of it, because you've got to get ahead of the game, because programming is really big. Well, I live in the UK. Just take a sip of my cup of tea. I live in the UK, so programming is big in the UK. And what they say in America, or if a company in America, because the company in America, it's a long story, they want me to go over there to program. Basically, the American government said they didn't give me my visa because they said, why are you bringing him over here? Why haven't what makes him different than people over in America? Which I agree, but it's a long story. Might make a tutorial, might make a blog about it, or a video. If you want to check my blog, it is Daily Tech and Gaming Reviews.blogspot.com. I'll put it in the description. So guys, thanks for listening to me. Promise on next tutorial, just could you please put in the comment section if you'd like me to go slow or go fast, or you'd like me going to do some research. Subscribe to my channel so you can get the video straight away. Comment, like it, because I know that people want likes on YouTube, but the likes don't do anything now. Likes used to put you on the front page, but they don't anymore. Likes just make me feel like I have accomplished something. I have made you learn something. You subscribing to me makes me feel that you want to learn more, and I am learning you. Because when I get a subscriber, that means basically I've got a student that is ready to learn, that is ready to come home, or come home from school, come home from wherever, even if you're an adult, come home and think, open subbox, Ben's done another video, let's watch it. And after that video, I want you to think, oh, I've learned something, and then I want you to do it again. Because the way you learn programming is you can't just do it once. You might copy the code that I've put, but after the tutorial, what I want you to do is I want you to do it again and again. Make different versions of that. Change the wording. Try and go outer than what I've put on the screen. So go further than what you can actually go, that you actually see on the screen. So when you're finished, if I've done, I know you won't understand this until next tutorial. If I've set a variable to play a name, you set it to something else. Try doing bigger things, and then try doing. Let's say I've done a variable and I've done a calculator. Do that same calculator over and over and over. It sounds like it's stressful, but do it over and over and over again, because that's the way you'll learn. Once you get it plastered in your head, that's it. You'll never forget it, and you can jump on any programming language like I'm clicking my fingers here like that. Well, I'm rambling on. I'm coming up to the 15-minute mark. So thanks for watching my video, guys. Subscribe, comment, like, do comment what I said, and I'll see you next tutorial.